Hi, this is Team 7. So today I'm going to present our research proposal. Our research topic is research on the mechanism and realization path of poverty elimination through vocational education in China. We have total 7 members in our team, which includes NAIMING, is me, ZHIGANG, JIEJING, XIANHANG, Hong, and SHUXIA. So first, let's begin with the abstract. Eliminating poverty is an important issue for all countries in the world, and it has been a common practice to eliminate poverty by developing education. Vocational education focuses on solving the fundamental problem of inadequate development ability of the undeveloped group. Focusing on developing the vocational ability of the undeveloped group, promoting the employment and relying on employment to get rid of poverty, which has become an important channel to eliminate poverty and a long-term way for low-income groups to increase their income and make life get better. So this study takes the mechanism and the realization path of poverty elimination by vocational education as the core issue. Taking China's vocational education as an example, it is committed to relying on the historical evolution of poverty, eradication policy by analyzing the text of relevant policy. So try to explore the realistic picture of developing formal schooling vocational education and non-academic vocational skills training to eliminate poverty. Test out the typical practice of international organization eliminating poverty by developing vocational education and the operational mechanism and realization role, and propose the operational mechanism and realization role of the eliminating poverty with developing vocational education. Next is the research background. So nowadays, the current situation and problem of poverty are considered as a constant academic issue among intelligentsia, as well as a real problem in social development. Even absolute poverty in China has been solved, but in the meantime, relative poverty has become the core issue of poverty alleviation in China. Within this context, how to effectively eliminate relative poverty and build a positive socialist culture has arisen as a major practical issue of social development in China. So from the perspective of history, the problem of poverty varies with social development. It is difficult to fundamentally eliminate poverty. The current achievement of poverty reduction is more about the sense of subsistence level, so which is still far from the requirements of moderately prosperous society and the new poverty standards common to the international community. In order to narrow this gap, so the living standard of the low-income population needs to be improved. It requires enhancing their professional skills for the labor market. So as to achieve stable and high-quality employment, the key to achieving this goal is to providing employment-oriented vocational education and training services to enhance the employment competitiveness. In terms of social reality, there might be some complex issues after 2021, including the prevention of relapse into poverty or new poverty and the more complex governance of relative poverty. The OECD takes the relative poverty line to measure a country's poverty degree. The relative poverty line here refers to 50% of the median income level in a country, and the proportion of population below the line refers to the relative poverty rate, which often reflects the degree of poverty. Therefore, the main concern is to address the issue of low-income groups, promoting the capacity of those groups, and thus vocational education and training will be an important initiative and an effective measure. From the perspective of future development, the prerequisite and the foundation for the promotion of the rural revitalization strategy is to solve the problem of increasing the income of the general rural population. As for the reduction of related poverty, especially for the low-income population with a labor ability, vocational education and training will become a basic tool and an essential channel. So this study choose this topic and mainly answering two fundamental questions. The first one is why vocational education can eliminate poverty, and the second one is how does vocational education eliminate poverty. So in order to respond to the questions from various aspects and answering the question especially from both theoretical and practical perspectives, as well as to propose and pass of poverty elimination through vocational education, this study tries to achieve the following objectives. The first one, based on the latest research result of poverty elimination theory and sort out the existing theories and practice, determine the analytical framework and the thinking path of poverty elimination through vocational education. Second one, to revolve the in-training mechanism and the influence factors through the historical analysis, comparative research and empirical research, and expound how does vocational education can eliminate poverty. Last one, in view of the related requirements of poverty elimination, the characteristics of population, and the objectives of vocational education on poverty elimination, to table a proposal on optimizing the realization path of poverty elimination through vocational education. So here are four main research methods applying in this study. The first one is literature research method, and the second one is comparative research method. The third one is questionnaire survey method, and the last one is case study method. So from the historical development of anti-poverty in the world, vocational education is an important institutional arrangement for poverty elimination, and is an important measure of major international organizations to promote anti-poverty. It has unique value and played a key role in poverty elimination. Based on the analysis of existing literature, scholars have explored the value and model of vocational education in poverty elimination, and the understanding of the role of vocational education in anti-poverty has deepened. It provides both theoretical support and practical references for this study. In terms of theoretical support, the discussion on the theoretical basis and the mechanism of anti-poverty through vocational education depends the theoretical understanding. In the aspect of practical reference, domestic and foreign practical experience, effective models, and corresponding strategies provide new ideas for improvement. However, existing studies need to be further expanded in terms of a research perspective. For example, there are lack of attention about poverty population, but with more focus on macro analysis. Research contents are mainly focused on theoretical analysis, but with less actual cases. Besides that, how to stimulate the self-consciousness, realize the superimposed benefits, and distinguish the power between each subject are still need to be further explored and developed. So here is the main references.